They say a crown is light when placed on the head, but unbearably heavy when carried by a heart that lacks wisdom. This is the story of King Aramo, a man who lost his throne, lost his pride, lost everything, only to discover the kind of wisdom that can change a nation. If you think greatness comes from power, Aramo's journey will show you the truth. The kingdom of Odoero sat between rolling green hills and winding silver rivers. It was a land full of farmers, traders, hunters, and families who valued hard work and peace. For generations, rulers had guided the kingdom with dignity. Then came Aramo, the youngest king the land had ever seen. He ascended the throne at just 20, crowned in gold so bright it reflected the sun. The crowd had cheered, drums thundered, and maidens sang praises of the handsome young ruler. But in Aramo's heart, something else began to grow. Pride. Pride that whispered lies. Pride that told him he was wiser than everyone else. Aramo loved being admired. He loved the sound of his own name shouted in praise. He surrounded himself with advisors who agreed with him, servants who flattered him, and entertainers who filled every night with celebrations. Your Majesty, the taxes are too heavy. The villagers are suffering, an elderly advisor once said. Aramo raised a dismissive hand. Old man, I know what I am doing. This kingdom has never been richer. But the people. Silence. I am the king. From that day, advisors stopped correcting him. Aramo's ego became a shield, blocking out truth, blocking out wisdom. And slowly, the kingdom began to decay. Aramo believed that a kingdom was measured by the size of its feast, the smell of roasted meat, and the weight of gold in the treasury. He didn't notice the exhausted farmers. He didn't see mothers struggling to feed their children. He didn't hear the merchants who complained about thieves on the road. Every night, the palace glittered with lanterns, music, wine, and laughter, while the villages outside grew darker, quieter, and hungrier. One afternoon, the chief farmer, Baba Ola, traveled miles to the palace. Your Majesty, he pleaded. The land needs rest. We need water. We need tools. Help us. Aramo smiled confidently. The kingdom is fine, old man. Baba Ola bowed his head sadly. A river may look calm on the surface, but trouble can rise from beneath. Aramo laughed. Leave before I consider your words an insult. His pride made him blind. His arrogance made him deaf. His throne made him feel untouchable. But no one is untouchable forever. The grandest feast of the year had arrived, the festival of the harvest. The palace was overflowing with dancers, drummers, guests, and food. Aramo wore his highest crown, decorated with diamonds and sapphire. Suddenly, boom! A thunderous knock shook the palace gates. The royal guards burst into the hall, pale and trembling. Your Majesty, the people are outside. Not a small group. Thousands. Aramo frowned. Tell them to wait. They will not wait, the guard said. They say they have waited long enough. Before Aramo could react, the palace gates themselves shook violently, and then swung open. Villagers flooded the palace. Not with weapons, but with sorrow. An old woman stepped forward, her back bent with years of suffering. Your Majesty, she whispered, tears rolling down her wrinkled cheeks, we are hungry. Our children cry at night. You do not hear us. You do not see us. A young mother spoke next. Your Majesty, we beg for mercy. Help us. Aramo stepped back, confused, frightened. Then a little boy, no older than 7, walked out of the crowd. His clothes were torn, his stomach empty. He looked up at Aramo and asked, why does our king love parties more than he loves us? Those words struck the king like a spear. The villagers placed Aramo's crown gently on the palace steps. Our king is one who listens, not one who ignores. and they turned their backs, leaving Aramu standing alone in a hall that once echoed with praise. At that moment, the crown was no longer his. Aramu walked out of the palace with only a small bag in his hand. No royal robes, no servants, no guards. He walked silently into the darkness at night. For days, he wandered through villages. People recognized him, but they didn't bow. Some ignored him. Some turned away. Some looked at him with disappointment deeper than words. One night, exhausted and hungry, he collapsed under a wide mango tree. The stars watched him silently. For the first time in his life, Aramu cried. Not because he lost the throne, but because he saw the truth he had refused to see. At sunrise, a farmer found him lying under the tree. "Are you alive?" the man asked gently. "Yes," Aramu replied weakly. "You look like someone who has fallen far." Aramu nodded. "I was a king." The farmer did not laugh. He did not bow. "My name is Boda," he said. "A man who walks with his hands. If you have lost everything, then walk with me." A man learns best when he begins from the soil. Aramu followed him. For the first time in his life, he lifted a hoe. He carried baskets. He pulled weeds. His hands blistered. His back bent. His feet cracked. But the pain was teaching him something that the palace never could. Humility. Patience. Understanding. Every evening, Boda told stories about leadership, hardship, and life. One night, Boda asked him, "Aramu, do you know why you truly lost your crown?" Aramu looked at his calloused hands and whispered, "Because I stopped listening." Boda smiled. "Then perhaps, losing your crown saved your soul." Months passed. Aramu became part of the village. He fetched water, repaired fences, helped children with lessons, carried firewood for elderly women. The people slowly forgot he was once their king. They saw him as a humble man with a quiet heart. One morning, the village chief gathered everyone. "Our kingdom is suffering," he said. "The new ruler cannot lead. The rivers are drying. Crops are failing. Crime is rising." Someone asked, "What can we do?" The chief responded, "We must find one who understands the kingdom deeply, one who has felt pain, one who now carries wisdom." Whispers spread across villages. One name kept appearing: Aramu. A large delegation of elders arrived at Boda's farm. Aramu was repairing a broken fishing net when he heard footsteps behind him. The oldest advisor, now with even more wrinkles, stepped forward and bowed deeply. "Your Majesty." Aramu shook his head. "I am no king. I am simply a worker." The advisor replied, "We do not seek the king you once were. We seek the king you have become." The villagers bowed. Some cried. Some smiled with hope. Boda placed a hand on Aramu's shoulder. "Go. Your kingdom needs you." And with humble steps, Aramu returned to Odoero. When he entered the palace, there were no drums, no singers, no dancers. Only silence and hope. Aramu refused to sit on the throne until he had visited every village, spoken to every elder, and listened to every complaint. He reduced taxes, opened the palace gates to the poor, repaired farms, built wells, restored schools, protected trade routes, reunited families. His leadership became gentle, yet strong, firm, yet fair, humble, yet wise. When the crown was finally placed on his head again, he whispered, "A crown is not meant to make a man proud. A crown is meant to remind him of the people he must serve." And for the first time, Aramu truly became a king. Years passed. Under Aramu's leadership, the kingdom thrived. Rivers flowed again. Harvests doubled. Peace returned. Children laughed. Families prospered. Aramo became known as the king who learned twice. Once from the throne, once from losing it. And his story was told for generations. The moral lesson of this story is that sometimes life must strip us of everything. Pride, position, power. Just to open our eyes to the wisdom we refuse to see. True leadership is not found in the crown on your head, but in the humility in your heart. This was the powerful story of Aramo, the king who lost everything but gained true wisdom. If you love this story, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And please share it with your family and friends so they too can learn from Aramo's journey. Stories like this deserve to be heard.